Yo, what is up guys? And welcome to another Wild Rift video. And you're seeing it right. We got the new champion Sivir. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate beginner's guide to this champion. Let me tell you, this champion is crazy. This champion is crazier than you think. I'll tell you all the ins and outs, all the little secrets on day one of this champion being out. So, let's get into it. There's timestamps in the description if you just want to go to the build, to the combos. Oh, the combos part are so important. But now, let's start with just explaining how she works. So first of all, her passive, Fleet of Foot, like fleet footwork. She simply gains movement speed when she does damage to an enemy with an attack or an ability. Very simple. Attack, movement speed. You see? For 1.5 seconds, movement speed. Movement speed. And it scales with your level. Like if I reset my level, as you can see, it's 31 right now. And every time you level up, it adds one more to it. Basically, you know, all the way into the late game, it's going to be all the way up to 45 movement speed, which is quite a substantial amount. It's essentially as if you have like a built-in phage in your build. Phage being this item, as you can see. Attacks grant 20. It's like a double phage. You have like at level 15, even more than a double phage. So you're getting like, you know, this is a lot of speed. Like you can see, this is a lot. You know what I mean? So, just so you know, Sivir is an extremely fast champion. And another thing you need to know, things that give you a percentage movement speed buff, like for example, Ghost gives you 25% bonus movement speed. This is going to further skill with Sivir's passive. So take a look, if I hit an enemy and I use Ghost, look at how fast I get. Like this is, I don't have anything crazy. This is simply what's in the game. You see, if I use the Ghost and I attack the enemy, I'm going to get a whole lot of movement speed. Just a little bit of a thing you need to know. That's for her passive. Oh, of course, also when you use an ability, you get movement speed. Talking about an ability, the first ability, this one is extremely important. This is basically like Echo's first ability on steroids. By the way, before continuing, I want to remind you guys, I am doing a skin giveaway. All you have to do to enter is put down a comment under this video. The comments I want to see is what you guys think of Sivir. Like after you've watched the video, let me know what you think of Sivir and what you think of this champion and if you're actually going to pick her up. Also give the video a like. So the first ability, as you can see, it throws a shuriken, and if you pay attention properly, you can actually see it does the same damage to everyone. It literally does the exact same damage to every single one she hits, which is insane. Nothing can stop your damage. So like, you can throw this at enemies, you can throw this through everyone and does a lot of damage. What this tells me, and what this should tell you too, is that Sivir is of course a team fighting champion. Everything that she has is focused on team fighting. I mean, look at how much damage this can do in a group. Like if you hit it on one enemy, if you try to hit it on one enemy, it really doesn't do that much damage. And as you can see, you can actually hit it all the way at the tip. Like you see how it actually goes even further than the range. Like you can see the range is not even supposed to hit the dummy, but it still hits it. So like it throws the shuriken. You can see like the middle part of the shuriken is gonna be here. It's the middle part, you see? So essentially the range is actually a bit bigger. So like you can throw it at an enemy from so far away. Very important ability. Also, this ability cancels your basic attack. Basic attack, first ability, basic. But we're gonna get more to that into the combos. Second ability. Now, this is the salt and butter, not whatever the hell the saying is. This is everything you need to know with Sivir. This ability, Ricochet. This is the ability that made the crazy intro. This one that you guys saw. So how does this ability work? What the hell is this? You know what I mean? What the hell is this? Let's explain. So when you activate this ability, you gain 40% attack speed. Of course, very important. You simply get percentage attack speed. Next up, her attacks will bounce to nearby enemies, as you can see. You know what the funny thing is right here? The abundance of a number. It simply says her attacks bounce to nearby enemies. It bounces to all nearby enemies. So if there's 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you may be thinking, why is it bouncing twice? That's where we get to here. Each enemy can be hit by a maximum of 2 bounces. So if the enemies stick together, you will be able to hit, like one of your attacks, you know, is 100% damage. When you max this ability, the bounces do 30% damage. So 9 times 30%, that's an additional 270% extra damage. Now you can, of course, that's in the perfect scenario, which is not going to happen, but you can see how this is extremely important. Like you're going to be able to do like 100, 200, you know, even 270% extra damage in a team fight with your attack. Like instead of attacking like this, you know what I mean? Like when you do it like this and there's enemies close to each other, and you can see how fast she throws it as well. And the beauty is, every time she attacks an enemy, she gets movement speed. So it makes this the perfect ability to, like, you know, you're running away from an enemy, boom, boom, boom. You're dodging away from the enemy. You use ghost, you're even faster. You keep going, you know what I mean? And you will heal up a lot because you're doing so much damage. Even if you have a little bit of vampirism, you're gonna heal up a crazy amount because of how much damage she's doing with this. Ability does 75% to minions, however she can still clear waves extremely fast. Something I forgot to say about the first ability, by the way, actually two things. Every 1% crit chance you have, the damage is increased by 0.5%. So if you have 100% crit, this damage is going to be increased by a further 50%. Also, the higher the attack speed, the shorter the cast time. This means the more attack speed you have, the faster this thing goes. Which I realize is not that significant. I tried to go full attack speed compared to no attack speed at all. The difference is like, is not very noticeable. But the more attack speed you get, the faster this first ability is gonna be. And the second ability, if the first attack crits, so if this attack crits, I have 100% crit of course, because look at my build. But basically if you have like 25% crit, it's a bit risky because you're heavily reliant on critting. Because like, look, this one crits, everything else is gonna crit. If it doesn't crit, nothing else is gonna crit. So everything is reliant on, you know, your first attack critting. It's different from the Rune and Zuriken, for example. Now let's talk about the third ability. I want you guys to see this third ability like a Morgana shield. Boom, you see? The shield looks a bit different, but it's essentially the same as a Morgana shield. However, the shield only lasts for 2 seconds, okay? You wanna get hit. This is actually, is this the first ability in Wild Rift that I'm gonna call a counter ability, where you basically want the enemy to hit you. Actually, Jax's third ability is also a counter ability, because you literally want the enemy to hit you because you're gonna do more damage. So with this ability, you want the enemy to hit you. Also, it blocks CC. So for example, if an Ashe uses her arrow on you, you can block her ult, and when you block it, you will heal. You'll literally heal up, and you gain the fleet of foot, so you gain your passive. So when you use your third ability, an enemy hits you, you're gonna heal up, and you're gonna get movement speed. Of course, a perfect ability for a champion like Sivir. Like, let's say Vi wants to ult you. Sivir is a hard counter to Vi, by the way, for this reason. Vi is ulting you. You simply click on your third ability right before it lands, and you can just fight her. She cannot do anything to you. So use this ability to block hostile abilities like that. And that's what it does, really. Another thing to know, if you fail the block, I'm actually gonna turn on cooldowns. You can see the cooldown is actually 14 seconds. So right now, I failed the block. Look, the cooldown goes down to 6 seconds. You saw how it went down? Like, if you actually put your eyes on it, I'm gonna show you guys. If you put your eyes on the cooldown, look, I turned it on. Nothing hit me, so the cooldown gets halved. I guess this is to make it a bit easier, so you don't have to be afraid to miss this, because even if you miss it, the cooldown gets halved, basically. And now let's talk about this one. A lot of text. Let me explain to you guys what this ultimate does. So the first thing it does, it grants 20% movement speed to you and your allies, okay? To you and nearby allies for 12 seconds. This duration gets upgraded. Like in the beginning, it's only 10 seconds, then it's 11 seconds, then it's 12 seconds. So let me show you what it is. This is the range. Like, look, if he's in range, you see he's in range, he's not in range. So he has the movement speed. I have the movement speed too. You see, 20% movement speed. Now, another thing you need to pay attention to, you see when I attack the enemy, let me show you again. So when I use it, of course, when both are in range, boom, movement speed. Take a look at this. Okay, a few important things to notice, okay? This ally has buffed movement speed, this one doesn't. So let me explain to you how that part of the ultimate works. The way this ult works, when you activate it, I've already explained this, within this range, you and your allies get 20% movement speed. After that, I'm gonna skip a little bit of it, I'm gonna explain this part first. After that, while the hunt is active, which is the ultimate, you gain 1 stack of morale every time an attack or an ability does damage to an enemy champion, okay? And 2 stacks of morale after a champion takedown, which means kill or assist. So let's just look at how this works first, before looking at what it actually does. So I use my ultimate. Take a look at my actual ultimate, look. Boom, boom. You see those basic attacks, 1, 2, 3? Let me show you this one. Your first ability will go through enemies And it will give you a stack of morale for each enemy it hits. Let me show you again. Your second ability, for the bounces, it doesn't give you for everything. But the first ability, this one, you can see how extremely important landing your first ability is for the ultimate. You can very easily fully max your ultimate. So what happens when you max the 8 stacks? Let's take a look. First of all, each stack of morale grants you a certain amount of attack damage. You can see it goes up by level 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 8, that's 32 additional attack damage, which is a lot. At 8 stacks, you can see 8 stacks maximum was the maximum stacks. It will grant an additional 30% bonus movement speed to you and nearby allied champions. And it refreshes the duration. So this is extremely important to know. So I can start it like this. You see, it gives movement speed to me and my allies. And then when I max it again, boom, you see, now it turns yellow. Look at how fast we are. Look at how fast we are. The 30% goes on top of the 20%, by the way. So you will be unbelievably fast. Your passive will give you even more movement speed on top of this. So this is like, your passive gives you movement speed when you attack an enemy, and your ultimate gives you double movement speed too. So that is insane, and it gives your entire team movement speed too. Another thing we missed about this, which I'm going to tell you guys right now. During your ult, during this period, her basic ability cooldowns are reduced by 40%. Of course, this goes by level 2, 30, 35, 40. So of course, the higher level you are, the better. So let me show you what this means. So I'm going to put this on not 0 cooldown. My first ability is on a 7-second cooldown. My second ability on a 10.4. So when I use it, you can see 7-second cooldown. But when I ult, we have to wait a little bit, of course. But when I ult, it goes down to 4. You see? Every ability goes down in cooldowns, you see? And you may be thinking, why are my abilities going down in cooldown even further? That's because I have the Navori Quick Blade, which is absolutely an item I do recommend to you guys, because it's absolutely broken on Sivir. But basically, when you activate your ultimate, all of your cooldowns, your third ability, your second ability, your first ability, are going to be reduced by 40%. Add to that in the Navori's Quick Blade, you can spam the hell out of your abilities. So I've covered everything about her abilities and things you need to know about it. Now let me tell you about combos with this champion. While this champion may seem a bit simple combo-wise, I have to tell you she really isn't. First of all, the obvious combos, the flash combos, boom, boom, just like that. Another thing you can do is you can throw it and you can like flash some other way. So for example, let's say I threw it here, enemy dummy flashed, I can just, flash and catch up to him. Another thing that could be of interest, if you're like running away, right before you want to flash away, you can throw your ult and then go like this. You see how far away it keeps going? Like if you want to throw your first ability all the way to their backline, but flash away, don't do it like this, because then it doesn't go as far. You want to throw it and instantly flash away. I don't think this one is very weird, but if you want to engage, which is one that's you're that you're more likely to use, sorry, you're going to do it like this, flash combo. Now let's talk about some more combos with basic attack. So Sivir has basic attack cancelling abilities. Basic attack, first ability, basic attack. You see? It's faster than like basic attack, basic attack, basic attack. Basic attack, first ability, basic attack. You see how instant it is? If you don't want a basic attack before, first ability, basic attack. Like you probably cannot even see, like look. If you actually have to look closely to how fast it is. It cancels a basic attack. Another thing that cancels a basic attack is her second ability. Basic attack, second ability. This one cancels it differently. Let me try to make this easy for you. The first ability, right after it, the cooldown of your basic attack is 0. So, first ability, basic attack, instantly. Your second ability, on the other hand, it's basic attack, second ability. Like look, basic attack, second ability. So what does this make you think, right? You want to do the combo, basic attack, second ability, first ability, instant on basic attack. So let me show you. Basic attack, second ability, and another basic attack. I should actually do it a bit slower, because this is probably confusing you. So, basic attack, second ability, first ability, basic attack. That's the combo. If you do it fast, like, look at this. That's literally the combo. I threw 3 basic attacks and my first ability in that quick succession. Let me show you again. Basic attack, second ability, basic attack. I even threw another one in, by the way. So this little combo, these little things I want you guys to know, that you can do basic attack, second ability to do maximum damage to a target. You're essentially doing a double attack on a target. And I want you guys to know first ability, basic attack. And the first ability, basic attack 1, you don't want to start off with this one first. You always want to start with the basic attack second ability, because then when you throw your first ability instantly after, that extra basic attack, which you know you're going to be able to throw instantly, is going to bounce on enemies, of course. Basic attack second ability, first ability, basic attack. Boom, 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 boom. About your third ability, this one you just kind of want to use randomly. As you can see, it doesn't really have any basic attack cancelling mechanics or anything like that. So you just want to use this one whenever you feel like you need to use it. And the ultimate, guys. I want you to understand something. So you don't want to use your abilities before you ult. Like you don't want to... and then ult. You don't want to do it like that. Because now, you know, now I'm enjoying the cooldown reduction. It's much better to ult and then start using your abilities. Because then you're instantly going to put them on a cooldown and you can pretty much spam your ultimates like crazy, especially with the Navori quick bait. So like you want to ult and then look at the cooldowns. Look at the cooldowns. Look, 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 look. This is how you want to ult. This is, oh my baby. Wait, do I have... Sorry. I have 0 cooldown. Sorry. I went a little bit too ahead of myself. I'm sorry. It's not that crazy. But let's actually take a look at how it works. This is how you want to ult. And combined with an Navori quick blade, the cooldowns are still ridiculous. Look, it's actually quite similar. Like, look at how ridiculous it is. And the funny thing is, when you have the Navori quick blade, even while your shield is on top of you, the third ability, your Navori will actually still reduce the cooldown. So like, look, I have another shield. This is why Navori is an absolutely mandatory item in my opinion on this champion. So those are actually the most important things you need to know about this champion. So yeah, let's get to the build part then. This champion is crazy. I just have to say this is a crazy champion. Like the fact that her bounces are infinite. Like they didn't put like a hard cap of like 6 or 7 bounces, you know what I mean? They can keep bouncing like crazy. So let me showcase you a build that I've come up with. So I do not build any attack speed. Reason being is because your second ability gives you 40% attack speed and I chose to go lethal tempo. In my earlier video, I actually went Conqueror, but I've decided now with the Immortal Shield Bow buffs that this is definitely going to be the best build on her. So you want to go Glutinous Greaves or Berserker Greaves. These may be the only attack speed boots that you want to go for. If you really want to have more vampirism, go for Glutinous Greaves. If you want to have more damage, go for the Berserker Greaves. Both are playable. In this situation. Immortal Shield Bow is going to be your first item though. Then we go for the Infinity Edge. Then we go for the Navori Quick Blade. Although you may want to go for Mortal Reminder if you're against a lot of tanks. So you wanna be thinking out this one. Like you can even skip the Infinity Edge, go for like Mortal Reminder and Navori Quick Blade if you're against like a whole lot of tanks. But pretty much you always want to incorporate the Navori Quick Blade in this build. And then lastly, you want to go Guardian Angel. You already have 100% crit, so you go GA, and you go for Stasis Enchant at some point. And for the runes, you're gonna run Lethal Tempo, Brutal. Brutal doesn't bounce on enemies, but it's still really good. Actually, it does. Wait a minute. I remembered. You guys remember the video that I made? On-hit effects get applied on the second ability. That's the thing that I forgot to say. I don't know if they fixed it here, but on-hit effects seem to apply on the bounces too. So like if the enemies are hella tanky, you can actually go... Wait, you know what? We're gonna go right back. I'm so sorry, but I actually have to test this one. If you build Black Cleaver, does it shred everyone's armor? This is something I should have tested before the video, but I'm not going to remake the video because it's a very good video. And I have to upload it fast because the champion just came out. So this is a bit unprofessional, but I just have to. We have to see this one together. So if I go Black Cleaver, the question is, right, if I go Black Cleaver and I bounce my attack to everyone, does that shred everyone's armor, right? Like, does that shred everyone's armor? If the answer is yes, then Black Cleaver may actually be a really good item on Sivir when you're up against a lot of tanks. And then Blade of the Rune King is another possibility you may be thinking about. Although I don't really recommend Blade of the Rune King. You want to get crit because she does work very well with crit. So let's move to the dummies again. I'm just going to build a Black Cleaver. Like, I just want to figure out the Black Cleaver part. Really nothing else. So let's buy this and a Black Cleaver. And I'm also going to buy a Wit's End to showcase to you guys whether the on-hit effect works. So let's keep going. I'm genuinely curious about this one. Like, I'm genuinely curious. We're just gonna take the first ability, nothing else. We're gonna put down some dummies right here. And see, I'm so curious about this. So enemy dummy, enemy dummy, enemy dummy, enemy dummy, enemy dummy. And just to showcase to you, as you can see, my basic attacks are doing, they're doing damage with the brutal rune. That's the brutal damage. some reason they're not doing any magic damage, or it seems like the Wit's End is the magic damage that they're doing. But the question is, okay, so you can see Black Cleaver shred his armor. The question is, if I bounce it to the enemies, oh my god, no way, it works. The Wit's End damage is not bouncing, but the Black Cleaver is bouncing. I am very weirded out by this one. Why does it work like that? The Wit's End is not bouncing, but the Black Cleaver is shredding everyone. This is very, very weird. Oh my god, this is very weird. But it seems that that's how it works. So, okay, let's continue the build part. I just wanted to confirm that one before telling you guys about the Black Cleaver one. Don't want to spread misinformation in my video. But this actually makes Black Cleaver an interesting choice for Sivir as well. Even though it's probably nowhere to be found in the recommended builds or anything like that, you could actually choose to incorporate the Black Cleaver in your build. And you could do that before, like if you're against a lot of tanks, you can build that right here. Like, you know, you literally put your Infinity Edge all the way at the end and you just build a Black Cleaver. Like, you build a Black Cleaver in between against a lot of tanks and you're gonna shred everyone's armor. It's ridiculous. So you want to go for Giant Slayer right here. And then you want to go for Legend Alacrity for the attack speed, because in your build you don't have a lot of attack speed. You're reliant on this attack speed, the lethal tempo, and then of course the Alacrity. And right here you go for Bone Plating, of course situational perseverance in some games, but this is basically the build. You can go for Ghost and Flash, or you can go for Exhaust and Flash, although I recommend the Ghost because you'll be hella fast with the Ghost. So that's gonna be it for the video. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.